Hello. Hey, everybody. Big hello to everybody here in the live chat. So great to see you. Welcome to all the members of the channel as well. Thank you for being here. Big thank you to my mods. I know that Nancy's here this morning doing her thing. When you have a question, if you could put question in all caps and have your question follow, that would be awesome so we can keep track of as many as possible. I'm Natalie, and this is Scientology Life After a Cult, where we talk about the Scientology news that has the internet buzzing. We touch on my 35 years in Scientology, how I left with 3 generations of my family, and throughout the week, I do interviews with different people in the community. So when you hit the subscribe button, be sure to hit that notification bell as well, because sometimes I hear it works, and you might actually get a notification. Everybody else who's here, please do me a big favor and just smash that like button, because that does help us get out more notifications. And we have got a lot to cover today. Yes, we do. We're going to talk about, we're going to touch on a little bit of Tom Cruise disconnection news. We are going to look at some protests. We're going to go back to Canada. We have got some music even today that I have just been listening to and loving it. I think you guys are going to like it too. I think so for sure. Well, maybe. I know I love it. Okay, so let's start with a little bit of that Tommy Cruise. Yes, let's. It has been making headlines for, I think we're going on a couple weeks now, because Siri Cruise turned 18. And the big question is, will he reconnect with his daughter or not, because she is of age? Or does that still make it dangerous for him? Because in the eyes of Scientology, Katie Holmes is a suppressive person. So let's take a look. There's something new out here from She Knows, which says this one rule may prohibit Tom Cruise from ever having contact with his daughter Suri. Sources claim. So regardless of how old she is, right? It's kind of the thought here. The thought process, because that is the Scientology rule. Former leading Scientologist Karen Delacarriere told Daily Mail that while many think there are a lot of rules that prohibit Cruise from seeing Siri, it's just one major rule that she believes to be the case. Katie was deemed a suppressive person and Siri, by extension, potential trouble source. She said, chances are you've heard about Scientology referring to some outsiders as suppressive person, which basically means someone who does suppressive acts against the church and are dubbed enemies of it. A potential trouble source is basically a step below a suppressive person. It's basically someone linked to a suppressive person who may indicate that they'll be an enemy of the church as well. Wow, this thing has got like 2 typos like right there. Here is my thought, what I have thought, what I've said before with Tom Cruise. I think this is his choice. There are people, the vast majority of disconnections in Scientology happen because they're coerced and forced. And Scientology likes to say, oh no, you choose, you get to choose. Even Scientologists will tell you, no. People don't force disconnection. It's a choice, because there are family members who aren't down with Scientology. Which they don't realize how ridiculous that even sounds, right? But I believe, because Tom Cruise has always gotten special treatment in Scientology, that if he wanted to have a relationship with his daughter, he could. He's just not. He's choosing not to. And you know what? I wish her all the best in the world. And she don't need that. She does not need that. I just can't even imagine. It happens all the time in Scientology. It surprises me that a celebrity of his stature, if you will, does that, because the whole world knows, the whole world can see it. But hey, that's Scientology. And I often say celebrities bring the light to Scientology as well as its abuses. And I'm thankful for that. So that's where we'll land with that. I was taking a look. A bunch of you sent me some clips that Mark Bunker has been doing here on YouTube, where he's sharing, and where you fix it up and you fix the sound and try and work on the color. These older videos, one specifically we're going to look at from the year 2000, when he was involved in the Lisa McPherson Trust in Clearwater and was protesting in Clearwater. They're really cool to see, because a couple things. You can see how Scientologists responded, how Scientology handled it back then. And you also get to see some of the OG protesters and people who came forward really ringing the alarm on Scientology after the tragic death of Lisa McPherson at the hands of Scientology and Scientologists. So let's take a look at this. This is from Mark Bunker's channel, and this is from a protest in the year 2000, which doesn't that sound so far away? I was like, oh, 2000, that was like a couple years ago. It was 24 years ago. Okay, some of you may not have even been born when this video came out. That's kind of a scary thought. Not for you guys, mostly for me, because it means like, wow, so much time has passed. Check it out.
It's safe to look and it's safe to talk.
Anytime you need safety.
I think they're waiting for dark so nobody can see the signs.
Yeah, no kidding.
Jeez.
They have people just packed in there now. They can't get out, and they're just standing there afraid because a person is standing outside saying it's safe to talk.
Now, that gentleman there is Jesse Prince. He was high up in the C organization, and we're going to talk a little bit about him in a second.
They've been told not to talk to us. We are bad people. They tried to tell that to Judge Moody, that we were the most despicable people on the earth, and he didn't buy it. Maybe someone over here won't buy it either.
Jesse Prince was one of the people who helped my sister leave Scientology years before our whole family did. When my sister originally left Scientology, she was around 20, 21 years old. And she did it in a way that back then it was like, as long as you kept quiet, they'd pretty much leave you alone. But they didn't leave her alone. She was multiple times over the years being threatened with disconnection if she spoke to my mom and I and the family members in Scientology about the things that she knew. And I just want to say thank you to Jesse Prince. I don't know if she's even spoke to him since, but he was key in helping her see and understand that what she saw with her own eyes in the Sea organization when she was trafficked from Hawaii to the international base, that was real and that was true. So got a soft spot in my heart for him, and I appreciate that. I reached out to him actually this morning to see if he would come on the channel to kind of do a where are they now kind of a thing. So hopefully I'll hear back, and hopefully we'll be able to make that happen. And if not, I totally respect that. He's done a lot over the years, especially back in the day, to expose Scientology. Liz Ferris, thank you so much. Look at her making it rain. Scientology Life After Occult memberships. Thank you. Thank you. Hip, hip, hooray. I want to welcome Luke as a new member to the channel. Hip, hip, hooray for you. Larry, thank you so much for given the gift of membership as well. And we cannot forget Jen Nelson. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. This one is for my Tony. Thank you so much. And just to give you guys kind of a quick update, just while I'm thinking about it. So I am going to Hawaii for my dad's funeral and services, and Tony and some family is going to come stay with him. We'll be staying behind, but we'll be close in touch, and even might do maybe a couple live streams with you guys with Tony from Hawaii. I'll do all kinds of live streams while we're there, but want to do that as well because I kept going back and forth. I'm going, I'm not going, I'm going, I'm not going. And I am just going to lean into the advice from people that are much smarter than me and care about me and go. And I'm taking all of you with me. So I hope you packed your bag because we're leaving today. All right, let's go over to Poe on the Go. Poe on the Go did this great video about swatting and police contact. He did it with Clearwater Chad the other day. Link down below in the description of this video to all the videos that I'm going to be talking about so that you can go check them out in their entirety, because the clips I share really do not do them justice. It just gives us a little taste, just a little taste. Check this out.
You get the call in, whoever is on dispatch, whether your department has a dispatch officer that's what they do, or in the case with my department, it was whoever was the commanding officer. It's generally a sergeant or a lieutenant who's in command for the shift for that day. The call is going to come in. They're going to try to extract every bit of information that they can from the caller. One of the things that you learn is you want to keep that caller online as long as possible.
It's a great video because Poe on the Go goes over some great advice, but also gives that background to help with understanding. Here's what happens when those calls are made. Because I know that we've had a lot of questions about how did this go down? How does this go down with these calls and the swatting and all of that? So very informative. Be sure to check that out. All right, let's go over to Clearwater. Cheryl on the loose was out in Clearwater with an array of body thetans. If you don't know, she makes those little, I think they're crocheted little doll-like things in the images of people. I have one. My Natalie body thetan sits back up there on the shelf along with my grandkids. I keep their body thetans and Tony's body thetan nearby. But it's hilarious what she does with them. And she does these little skits and stuff once in a while too. And she's got a new one. Look at that. It looks like D.O.A.'s body thetan is there in Clearwater. So let's take a look at what happened. This is Cheryl on the loose.
Hey, Scotty here. Gonna make some grilled cheese in a minute, you guys.
How many
Scotty here.
do you have?
Whoa, who's this chick?
I know you're DOA. That's not how you do it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
That's not how you do it.
Out here protesting? Like, what do you mean?
That's not how you do it. That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it.
Good Lord, God.
That's not how you do it. That's the way you do it. That's not how you do it. That's the way you do it. There's more. There's more. Hold on to your seats, people.
We're loving and loving and loving with you. That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. We're loving and loving and loving with you.
Do you love that? You guys, of course, know who that is. That's Lara FM there. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I just love it when she does that. But you know me, I love all of the puppetry and the songs and the creativity that comes out of all of this. It's good to be able to smile. Just a Northern girl. That's right. OMG. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. And I want to say hello. Louis Repetto's in the chat. Good to see you there, Lou. We have a clip coming up from St. Louis. So stick around. Guess who's in Los Angeles at the Blue Buildings? Who's going to be protesting? Who is protesting there? Jay. Now Jay DSA here on YouTube. Let's pull that up. Jay just gave me the sweetest shout out, and it just warmed my heart to see him there. And I cannot wait to see Jay out there with other protesters. Cannot wait. Hey, Marilyn Honig in the chat. Good to see you there. Sandy McKenna, I see you popped in as well. Okay, check this out. It's super short, but I loved it.
Shout out to you, Natalie. We're out here at the cult of Scientology. Hearts in the chat, guys. Let's get it.
Oh, I thought that was so great. I love that. And I love so much that he's there, right? Isn't it going to be great to see? It's just, I'm telling you, I think I am the biggest fangirl of all of the protesters. I love seeing when universes collide and people come together and they collaborate from different places. I just love that so much. I cannot get enough of it. And I just love seeing it all come together. And I think you guys do too. Let's take a little look at Sea Org Rescue, who did a little short about the bridge to what? Because, you know, Scientology has this giant chart with a bridge over it, with the first step to the last step on their bridge to total freedom. And often we say it's the bridge to total bankruptcy. It's the bridge to not having a life. It is the bridge to losing contact with your family. But if you hate your family, you might want to join Scientology because they will help you cut them off. That's what that is. Let's take a look. Sea Org Rescue.
Bridge to total what? Enslavement, bankruptcy, shame, disconnection, sadness, abuse, sickness. Nope. Oh, is that the way to happiness? Away, run away. As fast as you can.
Run away as fast as you can. All right, let's talk music. Let's talk Lara FM and let's talk Selfless Self. I know a bunch of you saw this because so many of you sent it to me, and thank you. Thank you for doing that. Never assume somebody sent stuff to me. If you see it, clip it, send a link, Natalie@lifeafteraccult.com. If you see something, say something, because that really helps me put this together and gives me a gauge for what people are talking about. Plus, I'm always lurking in chats and stuff, so I get to see that way too, what is happening. Gabe from Ontario is here. Hey, Gabe, we're going to be sharing a couple clips, I think, from what you guys have been doing out there. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up. But first, ooh, I really liked this. Selfless Self, who's been traveling around protesting Scientology. Let's see, he's been in Austin, Chicago, Los Angeles. I might be missing a place or so, but is playing the drums along with Lara FM's song. And I just love it. I love the passion, and I love that Lara's music is becoming the soundtrack to these protests because Scientology likes this is this is another way Scientology foot bullets work. So they're like, hey, I have an idea. Let's play copyrighted music and try and shut down these streams. Of course, it fails. So what do the protesters do? Play their own music. And what is it? It's mostly the music by Lara FM. So Scientologists and Sea Org members all over the place get to hear her voice and her message. And we are here for it. Take a look. So much. Oh, tell me in the chat. Tell me on the comments. If you were on the replay, there's no slacking. Jump into those comments and participate. How cool is that? It's absolute. I really like it. I really like it. I thought it was so much fun. I'm glad you guys like it too. We're going to look at something else along the lines that we're on the topic of music here. I don't know if you guys know DJLEOMIAMI. He has been sharing on social media, here on YouTube, different clips of people's videos who've been protesting. And he's done a lot behind the scenes too. He's been great about sending me info when he comes across it. And Leo, well, is a DJ LEOMIAMI. He did a remix to Lara's song for club music. And funny side story, I cannot remember if I told you guys this or if I told somebody in person. Often I don't remember. But I had never been to a club before. In fact, I still have never been to an actual club. When I was like 16, I went to some 18 and under thing. And that was the closest I'd ever come. The only clubs I've been to, though I have been to 2, were gay clubs. Those are the only 2 clubs I've ever been to. And so my realm of music, and I love that kind of music, I would always ask Spotify or tell Siri, whoever's doing my music, to play gay club music, and it would never come up. And then recently it hit me. That's not gay club music. That's just club music. Because I'd only been to gay clubs. Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. But just, again, in my experience of life, I've never been to a club that's not a gay club. So I thought it was gay club music. Anyways, getting back to the topic here. DJLEOMIAMI did a remix to Lara's song. And you guys got to hear this. If you have not, it's over on SoundCloud. And we're going to play a bit of it. Oh, I just loved it because, I love the club music. I love the club music. God. Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. Check this out, you guys. This is so great.
Don't know much about the keys and music. Don't know much about you. I don't know much about the opinions of what it is you
could sit here and listen to it all day. I was listening to it this morning. I love it. And you guys can't see it because Nancy's behind the scenes, but I was losing it because she was dancing along too. Oh, it's so great. House music. Is that also what it's called? Okay, because I got to know what to tell Siri and Alexa so they play the right music. Amber says, when I got out of the Sea Org, I partied hard. I went to every club. I tried everything out there that I could. Oh, I had kids when I left. Yeah, but honestly, you know what also I've never done that I want to do? I have never been to a music festival. And barely even to a concert. I took my kids to one when they were teenagers, but I would like it to be outdoors and not a whole ton of people. That's more my vibe. I don't like huge crowds, so I'm adding a few things onto the bucket list, right? But yeah, I agree with you, Exiled. I'm glad you guys like it. I absolutely loved it. Okay, did you guys see in Los Angeles at Celebrity Center there was an elderly man in a tree? Sassafras, this is going to be a clip from her channel, minding her own business, going around Celebrity Center, and boom, elderly man in the tree. Odd, right? Just because, I mean, I'm not trying to be any way. I am 53. I could not get my butt in that tree, let alone hold myself up there. So I know, maybe he's fully capable of it. I don't know. But knowing what we know about the elderly in the Sea organization and how they're treated or mistreated, it is just worrisome. And Sassafras 0808 caught this on a live stream, and we are going to take a look at this.
I don't know. You guys might want to start calling. Excuse me, can I ask you a question, sir? Do you have a tree trimming business?
I work for the church here.
Oh, you do?
All volunteer.
Oh, you're a volunteer. Well, man, you got to be careful.
Thank you.
Are you a member here?
I'll talk to you later. I'm busy.
Talk to me later because you're busy. What's your name?
Let me talk to the executive.
He won't talk to me, you guys. He said he's a volunteer. You know, this is very dangerous work, and you're not a young guy. You should probably let someone else do this. I worry for you. They have this guy trimming trees. He's a volunteer. What the heck is wrong? Covered in what way? They have chopped off fingers and SOL. I mean, you guys, look at this. What the F? I don't.
Look at that. Yeah. So I don't know if he is a Sea Org member, because there have been situations we've been getting word, we've been hearing here in the on the down low that Sea Org members are being told when they're out at other organizations to not wear their pin that identifies them as Sea Org members. So is he in the Sea Org and out there doing that? Is he a Scientologist who maybe this is what he's always done for a living and he's volunteering? I don't know. It's just a little odd. And Scientology considers all of their staff members who sign contracts and get bills for their training if they leave as volunteers, Sea organization members as volunteers. So it wouldn't be that odd for him to identify. Maybe that's their new thing. Stop saying you're staff members. Stop saying you sign contracts and we make you attend 3 to 5 roll calls a day. You are volunteers. You just can't volunteer to leave or we will hunt you down. True story, bro. True story. All right. Hey to PTS for life. Good to see you. And Gabe there as well. Mexican long hair. I see you jumped in. Always great to see you too. Okay. So now that we're totally disturbed by the guy up in the tree, I know I am. Let's go over to the blue buildings where this is someone who's new to me. So might be new to y'all. In fact, look at me. I'm going to hit that subscribe button right now. This is Ham It Up Again. Who talks about her reason for showing up for the protests.
I hate to be morbid, but that's the truth. That's what was happening. I've talked to Tori, and she's shared the story that she knows so many Scientologists that have committed suicide. And that is one way they've done it, is to jump out of the windows in these buildings, which is horrific. Obviously, that's why we're here. Ultimately, we have fun. You have to, because day after day of this grim BS is got to be, it's too much. So if If a bit of fun, it makes it bearable. But the truth is, we're here for a reason. So I like to remember that now and then. Going back to Canada, my plan, I was supposed to be back to work on Monday.
She was originally going to swing through a couple other Scientology orgs, maybe Seattle and Portland on the way. Hope to see her, but if not, we know what that's like to have to get back to work. No worries. But thank you for sharing that clip, and thank you for being in Los Angeles and doing that. Very, very interesting. There's, I did a video the other day with Jamie Mustard, which if you have not checked out, please do check it out. And he talks about how so many of the children that he grew up with in the Sea Organization, the kids who were born into this human trafficking cult in the Sea Organization, what they went through, how so many of them are not alive today. And it's because they unalived themselves. It just really speaks to the mind. I'm trying not to use a swear word. You know what I mean? The mind F of the whole thing, and how it can carry forward so much when there's childhood trauma like that. And that's a lot of, it's a lot. And there are a lot of them. So I'm glad she's sharing that, and she's right. That's why sometimes we got to bring the fun too, because it's hard. We remember why we're here. We know why we're here, which is to expose Scientology and a cult. And then for me, moving on to the next cult, because there are many of them. And I feel that when you're raising awareness about cults and some of their tactics, there's a lot of commonality there, and that can help people not get, maybe into another cult, even that's not Scientology. Okay, let's go over to Clearwater, where Lori plays. I love her singing. It's a real music theme today. I'm just realizing that now. Lori Place came out with a new little ditty protesting out there in Clearwater. And I think that must be Dustin in front of her there. Dustin Soda Fountain here on YouTube.
100 body Thetans on me, 100 body Thetans. Audit went off, what do you got? 99 body Thetans on me, 99 bottle, 99 body Thetans on me, 99 body Thetans. Audit went off, throw it away. 98 body Thetans on me, 100 body Thetans.
Just love the originality there. And I do believe, Gabe, this is your channel, right? Escaping the Cultiverse. Nancy, you tell me if I'm wrong, but Gabe's who has also been protesting out there in Canada, and we're going to see a clip from that. Hello, good to see you here. And just so you guys know, that is her channel. Get over there and sub, show her some love. All right, so let's see. Now that we're all going to have the 99 body Thetans in me stuck in our head, let's go over to St. Louis, where Louis Repetto is out there with a new character that he is introducing in their protest to help get attention from passerbys, bring a bit of levity, and protest and raise awareness about Scientology being a human trafficking cult.
This is HGOPL Bob right here.
And so you guys know HCOPL means Hubbard Communications Office Policy Letter. Every issue, everything written by Alan Hubbard that was printed with green ink on white paper, you knew it was his administrative technology, a Hubbard Communications Office Policy Letter, HCOPL. So green on white, which is why this is funny, or at least funny to ex-Scientologists.
HCOPL Bob. We're is green on white. Oh my goodness. Trying not to laugh with my
Just love that. Lots of fun. They've been out there in front of St. Louis. So if you are in that area, go ahead and look for them. It's St. Louis Scientology Audit Lou. Is that, I kind of feel like you might have changed the channel name. I thought I saw a different one. Scientology Audit, St. Louis Scientology Audit, Louis Repetto. If Nancy, if you get a chance, can you put a link to his channel in the chat there? because I think I'm getting it wrong. But we have a link down to the video in the description. So if you click on that, you will go to his channel, regardless of the name. But I got to try and remember. I got to remember all these new names when you guys start changing your channel names. There we go. Thank you, Lou. Leaving Scientology always. Okay. So it's called, you're talking to at Leaving Scientology. That's not your channel. I should just stay out of the chat. I got to stay out of the chat. Okay, so let's talk about Austin and Pur Snappy. Pur Snappy was just standing there in Austin, minding her own business, doing the protesting of Scientology, letting them know what it is, what it's like, what it will be. And this guy comes out of nowhere and just goes from 0 to 100 and smacks her stuff. I think it might have broken her gimbal, assaults, and then just takes off. Now, I'm not sharing the exact moment of the assault because there are a lot of F-bombs there. And you'll notice I try to work around the F-bombs. Otherwise, YouTube will limit how many people can see my video. So it's when you send me clips, that's a good thing to keep in mind to not, because I'm not going to clip the parts that have the F-bomb in it. Maybe I might be able to get away with one, but I try to watch out for that. Outside of YouTube, I'm offline. I have the mouth of a sailor. I am an Sea Org member after all. And we got nasty potty mouths. So keep that in mind when you're clipping things for me, that if it has a bunch of F-bombs, I actually cannot use it. So we are moving forward ahead right after that happened, and Pur Snappy talks about it. And again, she's over in Austin. Pur Snappy.
Can it be fixed in position?
No.
Fixed in position.
And that selfless self with her.
No.
Hell yeah.
Okay, that's as good as it gets, y'all. Okay. He definitely thought I was like, yeah, well, he thought something.
All right, that's a little better. Well, we got like a full-on Texas Nazi right here yelling at us. We're getting
Okay, thank you, Leah. How's the boob? My boobs are intact. No boobs were harmed in the making of this content.
So did you call?
Somebody else is calling my phone. My secondary phone won't go through.
So she got it kind of fixed and up and running. And I think you guys all know the boob reference to Nancy Drew over in Chicago. She's got a court date coming up because one of her boobs allegedly made contact with Chadwick in Chicago, and it frightened him because apparently these are very powerful weapons. Powerful. And they scare Scientology staff members. Oh, I just cannot with that guy. That guy in Chicago, that Chadwick. I don't even know who he is. I just look at him and I get irritated. And there aren't many people that do that to me. Honestly, there aren't. But that one, it's like, man, you are just up to no good every day, all day. Now let's go over to Michigan because Poe on the Go was out there protesting and it was fabulous. Fabulous. I'm so glad you guys sent this to me because somehow I missed it in the content that I watch. I don't know how I missed this. So I'm glad a lot of you sent it. This is Poe on the Go in Battle Creek, Michigan, in front of the Scientology organization.
Battle Creek, Michigan. We're here today in front of the Scientology Battle Creek. Don't know if it's an org, if it's a mission, or whatever it is, but you can really tell just how popular Scientology is here. When you look over at their parking lot back here, you've got their old rusted up van that they use, and you've got one other car. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and there's nobody here. When we first got here, those windows behind me, the blinds were open. So amazingly, those blinds have closed. And I am here with none other than the Battle Creek Squirrel Squad, Bobby Joe Kellogg. Say howdy. Hello. Battle Creek.
Love it. Love seeing him there. That was so great. So great to see. And Poe on the Go shares a lot of great information like the clip we shared earlier, which can give you some insight into law enforcement and kind of how things work, which will just educate you better when you're there protesting to know what your rights are. And wherever you are, be sure to find out what the rules are in your city, in that town, when it comes to using chalk, if you're going to do that, when it comes to protesting as well. You want to know those things ahead of time. And someone suggested along the way, a few times I've seen where it might not be a bad idea to even even give law enforcement a heads up. Hey, I'm heading over to I'm protesting at Scientology, and they have a history of having fake calls and swatting protesters, and just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm just there with my sign. Okay, let's go to Canada. Let's go to Canada. I would like to visit Canada. I've not been there in forever. This is Phil Jones. Phil Jones helped get that billboard up for a hot minute in Los Angeles, right across from the Scientology building where the Sea Org members are. He's also done billboards in the past, all with the hope of reaching his children, who he has not seen or heard from in 10 years. He and his wife were out there with the protesters protesting Scientology, and it was so great to see them out there. And Jeff did a little interview here with Phil.
I mean, when I learned about it, I wanted to. My wife and I are not that long back in Canada, so we want to start getting some stuff, just supporting what's going on here. And Jeff, you've been sort of the lead on a lot of this stuff. The protest that was set up in Toronto worked out really well. So I thought, well, I'm going to come out here and give my support as well. We're just trying to fight against this cult. For me, a lot of it has to do with the family disconnection. Scientology's had my kids for over, we haven't seen or heard from our kids for over 10 years. So, and Scientology won't let them contact us. So it just overall needs to be put in its place and made more honest. We need to kind of, just expose their abuses.
It's so amazing to me. Their story is so heartbreaking. I just can't imagine, especially both of your children, to lose contact with both of your children to the Sea Org, to Scientology. So unnecessary. Just another example of how they break up families and why they're being protested. This is exactly it. Everybody in here, please smash that like button while you're here. Or as, who was that who made the comment that I pulled up? The Astroflux, nip that like button. I did a video yesterday with Aaron over at Growing Up in Scientology, and we shared 5 of the creepiest beliefs in Scientology, and it comes from the book, The History of Man. And one of the incidents that L. Ron Hubbard talks about is one that he calls nipping, which is not what you think. It's when a Thetan puts out 2 energy beams, and then there's a person there, and that they use that energy to boom, hit them upside the head and confuse them, kind of like boxing them in the head. So I don't know if you meant that kind of nipping or, either one works. Okay. Also in, over there in Canada, they were interrupting the Scientology volunteer ministers event. Now the Scientologists were already kicked out of a market because they're Scientology. And so they went to the parking lot of a mattress store because nothing says join our church like the parking lot of a mattress store. And the protesters were out and they could be heard. Check it out.
Stop carrying concealed boobs. Apparently it's boob tech.
No, it's super boob tech.
So what happened to, was it Pur Snappy that got arrested, or who was it? Nancy Drew. So what happened? Did she get away okay?
No, she's got a birthday.
Oh, damn. Wow.
It's a cult. Don't be fooled.
It's like, what are they doing in there? Are they watching a video or is there a speaker? So what I've been able to piece together, and tell me in the chat, because I think Gabe is here. I think a few of you from Canada are here. Was that kind of an interfaith community event that Scientology was trying to do? Was that the deal? Tell us in the chat. And if you are catching on the replay, remember, no slacking. Jump in those comments and tell me what you think and what you know about that. Hey, JDSA, love the shout out. We shared it earlier. I hope you saw it. And then I screenshot it and stole it for my thumbnail for this video. So thank you for that. I absolutely loved it. Now, while this is going down over there in Canada, Gabe went over to, had a conversation with a Scientologist, right? Because sometimes they like to talk and chat, but she gets escorted out and physical contact is made. Check this out.
Scientology, hey, stop abusing her.
So you see, she put her hand on her shoulder, and what is that? What that is called in Scientology is the drill is called 8C, 8-C, and you're physically moving somebody around, usually guiding them kind of by the shoulder. So I'm not surprised that that's where the Scientologist reached out to move her. But when you put your hands on somebody else like that, it's considered assault. And you look at that where the Scientologist puts her hand on her to turn her, right? Much more pressure and force being needed than having your arm come into contact with a boob. And Chadwick in Chicago just couldn't handle that. And these boob jokes are just not going to end, nor should they, because Scientology needs to be called out on this seriously, because it's so ridiculous. But yeah, so that's there in Canada. You can see what was happening there. Nobody showed up for the Scientology event is what it looks like to me at all. And one protester gets assaulted. At least that's the one that I saw and know of. So you guys let me know. LA in Toronto. Oh, Gabe was so mad. I bet. I mean, you're just physically trying to handle you, and that's just not okay. You would think too that because so many, whether Scientology is putting on an event somewhere or their organizations themselves, protesters are showing up and more are showing up. They should almost do. In fact, you know what? We should have a little public service announcement for the Office of Special Affairs. Listen up, OSA. Wake up, wake up, wake up. You probably fell asleep watching this video because you're so sleep deprived and probably, haven't gotten through your rice and beans yet. But listen, you need to let your staff know that making physical contact with a camera, which is an extension of somebody's body or their bodies themselves, it means assault. And I know you know it because you got Nancy Drew in Chicago arrested over Chadwick making contact with her boob. Probably the first time he did that. So that is our public service announcement. OSA, let your people know. Don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. You're welcome. I'm sure they appreciate that. They really appreciate that. I'm a giver. I want to help. even with them because they're underworked and understaffed. Louis Repetto, thank you for that super chat. Sorry for the name change, but anyone can always find me at Leaving Scientology. Thanks, Natalie. I love you, girl. Hi, Tony. Lou, love back at you. Love back at you. Okay, Leaving Scientology. Leaving Scientology. I got to say it so I remember. Leaving Scientology. Lou is at Leaving Scientology. Ooh, Cubana Chica is saying Gabe talked to one of the speakers and they left. One of the speakers at the event for Scientology, Gabe, one of the protesters, spoke to that person and they left. That's amazing. That is awesome. I did not know that. Very cool. I love that. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Okay, Pur Scientology Audit. We touched on this yesterday. She's been in contact with someone in Ghana because there are multiple Scientology organizations around in the area, and they're trying to recruit unsuspecting people into the C organization so they have more slave labor, right? Because that's their deal. That's their deal. She's in contact with somebody who was going to help open a Applied Scholastics. Let's take a little look at a clip of her video. You can check out the whole thing on her channel, where there is a link down below in the description of my video.
They actually asked him to go down to Johannesburg and join the Sea Org. And I'm like, please don't do that. He said, no, my visa was declined. And I'm saying, well, that's a blessing in disguise, which he agreed with. So he's now saying that he's going to pull out of building this Applied Scholastics building. So they are heavily promoting the Way to Happiness and Foundation for a Drug-Free World all over Africa. They have got their hooks into many countries such as Sudan, Uganda, Liberia.
I'm really glad that she's doing this and doing videos about it to raise awareness. So please do check out and sub to her channel so you can stay up to date on what's happening in that part of the world as well, because we don't hear enough about it. So I really appreciate that you're doing that. Thank you so much. And keep the clips coming. Keep the links coming. Okay, you guys. Those are my clips, but I'm telling you, I can't leave you without a little bit more Lara FM. But here's what's happening. I am leaving today. I'm going to be headed out to the airport. I have a very long travel day. To go from Minnesota, Hawaii is like going to Europe. And then there's a 5-hour time difference. So tomorrow I am going to be doing my news recap. I just don't know when yet because I want to kind of listen to my body when I get there. And I'm usually not one to sleep in, but the time difference is so crazy that by the time I get to where I'm staying and probably make it into bed, it's like 5 a.m. Minnesota time. So it probably will be late tomorrow. But on the flip side of that, I often, when I go, wake up at 3, no matter what's happening, no matter when I went to sleep. And maybe I'll be able to pop in too. Or you know what? I'm going to post photos and stuff on my community page so that you guys can stay up. I'll let you know where I am. Ooh. Tony's going to be staying home, but looks like he is in the spirit. Oh, and I'm only mildly bothered by the cultural appropriation. He's watched my sister and I
Everybody.
do some hula, but I love it, babe. I love the hat. Is this the vintage shirt? Yeah. Is this one you got from my dad? Mm-hmm. This is a shirt that Tony got from my dad.
Shirt.
What?
It's tuxedo covered.
Are you taking it off? What are you doing?
No,
oh, yeah. It's not that kind of show, babe.
It's a covered button. It's a tuxedo shirt.
I like it.
Tuxedo.
Wow.
It's the dress up tuxedo shirt.
I did not know that.
Covered buttons.
Covered buttons. Yeah.
It's a tuxedo.
It's a tuxedo shirt from Hawaii. I love it. Vintage too. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's really nice, babe. I like it. I like the hat too. You rock it. You sexy thing. Okay. So anyways, like I said, lots of travel, but I will be on tomorrow for sure. And I just don't know when. So I'll get the notification out. Honestly, I'm just going to wait till I get up and see what's happening. But please do me a favor. If you see something, say something. Email me, Natalie at Life After Occult, and include like video timestamps, clips if it's under a minute, all the good stuff, because I could really use your help, especially when I'm traveling with the time difference. It can save me some time because I want to be able to come on and do the show as close to our usual time as possible, but it's going to be later in the day because 8 a.m. in Minnesota is 3 a.m. in Hawaii. So if I'm ready to go by 6 a.m., that's just too much math for this time in the morning, but watch for the notifications and keep an eye on my community page because I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff there too. And if you go to the community page, there's a great photo of Nancy Drew. She got, I hate that she got arrested, but I love that she was wearing her SPTV Never End shirt. That made me very proud. And I like seeing that. Okay, guys, that is what I got. But like I said, as we leave here, we just got to listen just a little bit more. Let's dance it out, people. Come on, join.